Alright, welcome back to the rest of the story. Well, the 7600 obviously isn't home yet. Or maybe that isn't obvious. Which is actually why I'm sitting in this right now. Due to circumstances out of my control, the 7600 is still getting worked on. And going back to that last video I made on it, literally it's getting to the point where things are just kind of gradually rolling into we get one problem fixed and hey, guess what, this isn't right either. But I guess we'll talk more about that once we actually get the 7600 back, because I gotta go talk to them probably tomorrow and figure out what the overall plan is with the 76. No, I'm not gonna sell it. I'm not trading it. I'm not gonna replace it with this. This is a 6.1 95R, the loader on the front. This is the second time I've actually ran it here, and I'm not about to sit and tell you guys all the technicals about it, because to be quite honest, I'm not going to sit here and pretend like I know all the ins and outs of this machine. It is nice. The button layout is pretty straightforward. It is IVT, and for being a road runner, which is kind of what this tractor is replacing right now, is my 76. I like it. The big selling point on it is you can set the transmission in a mode that, I don't know if it's full auto or what the technical name of it is, but you can put it in that mode, put the throttle all the way ahead, the engine will speed up, and then it'll drop back to a proper operating level. So if it doesn't need to run wide open to go, say, 5 miles an hour, if that's what you have the machine set for, it'll actually drop back. So to me, it seems like that'd be a pretty good way to help on fuel consumption, as opposed to like with the 76, where it's pretty much wide open all the time when you're going up and down the road, and you can control the throttle manually. But if you're letting the engine and the transmission work together, however they need to operate to run at the speed that you want it to run, I can't help but feel that'd be a little bit more efficient. I only have a bucket on the front of this loader. I did not ask for this tractor. I didn't ask for any tractor specifically. This is actually just a tractor to use while the 7600 is getting worked on. That tractor was only supposed to be up there for a week. We're going on, what will it be, 3 weeks tomorrow or something like that, or a little over 3 weeks. So I'm not talking down or negative on the dealership mechanics at all. It is literally just, it's just the machine. I guess if we want to blame anybody, it's a 76, but just a lot of little things are adding up on it. I need a tractor. Yes, we have the 4020, the 46, the 82. Two of those, the bigger tractors, are really impractical to be used for what I need it to be used for, and that is to move bales between the farms. We're going to be grinding feed here probably tomorrow, and just doing cattle chores, really. That's why we went ahead and did the 76 in January like we did, is because it is the time of the year where we rely on it the least. I mean, I did push snow with this loader already, but this time of year it's mainly just making sure that the hay is dispersed between the farms properly, or like where we need it. The bedding is skewed pretty heavily towards the home farm and my brother's place. I used up all of the bedding down at my place, and I actually I hauled a couple bales down of fodder down to my place so I can bed the cows down when I get home tonight. And I went to a cow sale. I was going to buy some cows. I am still planning on buying cows. I have the money to do it and everything. It's just, if I wanted to buy what I didn't go up there to necessarily buy, I could have bought a lot of red, black Angus cows in any degree or level of their lives, between heifers, bred heifers, and broken mouth cows, 10 plus years old. But my problem with that is, and yeah, I was a little disappointed not being able to bring anything home yesterday, but the problem is I'm looking to actually start up a beef herd and probably lean a little bit more on raising beef cattle than I am with them on crops right now. Because, let's face it, you get that cow paid off, which I'm not even borrowing all the money to buy the cows, the number of cows I'm planning on buying. I got a couple grand that was actually, from viewers that is going to be helping me. It's going towards cows. That's the long and the short of it. But the problem is, I went up with the intentions of bringing home a bunch of redheads, red Angus. I bid on, throughout the 4 or so hours that we were there, it was Brittany and I. We left Verlina at home with my parents, and I think I bid on 3 lots in 4.5 hours. There's a lot of reds that did go through the lot. But the problem is, I was looking for not necessarily first calf heifers. I was looking for, the cows that have actually proven themselves, have had 2 or 3 calves, have proven that they can take care of them, they can get bred back. Because that is something you have to worry about a first calf heifer. Yeah, you're at the beginning of her life of, being a productive cow, But the problem is you can run into the issue of heifers being able to get bred back for that second calf. Not saying that was a guarantee that would have happened, but when you're watching your dollar signs and making sure that you're hitting the ground running with both feet, or all 4 hooves, if you want to look at it that way, you just want to make sure that you aren't making any hasty decisions. And that's what kept me from bidding on a few of the lots that came through. They probably would have worked, but I was also looking for red Angus cows, but that were in their 3rd trimester, close to actually dropping a calf. I was avoiding anything that was in their 2nd trimester, because that could have been anything from, in probably the worst case scenario, it could have been 6 months or so, because I don't know, I'm pretty sure they were just sleeving them. I guess I didn't outright ask what they did to check their the level, or how far along the cows actually were, but they all come in with either 1, 2, or 3 lines on their hips, and as it goes, 1 line is 1st trimester, 2 lines is 2nd, and 3 lines is 3rd. But they don't know at what point in each of those trimesters those cows are actually at. It's just a guess. And at the moment, at this point in time, and I'm going to another cow sale here coming up. I'm not sure the date at the moment. But the thing is, I'm looking for something that's going to be in their 3rd trimester, is about to drop a calf, because the way I have it planned out is I'm going to be having calves here potentially while there's still some of this nasty white stuff on the ground. They're going to be up at the home farm. I will be checking them every single day, making sure they have plenty of bedding, of course. But I'm looking for a cow that's going to drop a calf here really before spring, so that way that calf is kind of up, it's going, so when the grass starts growing, that calf is getting all the grass it wants. It's growing on the mom, and the way I'm set up, I'm going to have to feed some hay. I have plenty of hay. I actually have a bunch more that I'll be making this summer. And feed isn't the issue, but I'm really planning on getting myself set up where I'm actually weaning that calf off the 1st of September. Gonna vaccinate them once, of course. I'm gonna knife cut the bulls, maybe keep a heifer or two back, but I'm planning on selling them at one of the all black-hided beef sales in December or January. And then all of that, 1,000% of that money I get from those calves is actually going to go to the money that I did borrow. So my plans and intentions are to have the money that I did have to borrow to at least the rest of the money I had to borrow to get these cattle, buy these cows, is going to be paid off this in 12 months, which I have longer than that. I was given longer than that to actually pay them back, but the sooner I can get those cows paid off, I don't owe any money, anybody, anything on those calves, on those cows. And then going forward here, it's just feed costs and what I put into those cows, and then I don't have to write a check to my lender for the next X amount of years. And then I'm planning on keeping heifers back and going from there. We'll have to reassess our plans as far as the herd come January of next year, or a year from now, if I may consider borrowing X, Y, and Z dollars again and doubling my herd. I don't know if I'll be able to quite double it, but kickstart my herd again next year, next spring, and keep the cattle going, because we got plenty of room for cattle. Even if I got in my operation, because Dad and Ryan are currently running like 90% of our pastures as it is. But the way I'm setting myself up, I'm fairly confident I can get away with actually feeding them cheaply enough with the grass that they will have access to. I'm not gonna have to feed them year round, at least. I know that. But if I have to keep them around the buildings and feed them at that rate, I mean, that's probably what I'll consider doing, but it's all got to pencil out. I'm not really interested in just buying the cows and hoping for the best. I think we did too much of that in my early 20s. So, yeah, winter is actually kind of mild right now. There's some projects that I would like to work on, but I would really like the 76 back. I'm probably going to pull out the 735 Moco, or at the very least work on it where it's at. But I'd like to actually go through and maybe change the oils in it, change the oil in all the gearboxes, go through it so that machine is ready to go. The disc bind has actually been a very, very, very reliable piece of machinery that we've had. Round baler, pickup, acid applicator. I may go ahead and replace a couple of the belts on it, but it's really going to depend on what I find when I get it to the shed and actually look it over. So it's going to be a very busy spring. I mean, just the row crops and fences, just those alone, I think are going to have us pretty much running around here pretty steady here once spring starts coming around. So I'm about back to the buildings. No, this isn't going to be the only video I talk about this machine. At least I'm not planning on it, unless miraculously they decide to have the 76 done like tomorrow, which I doubt it. But I used it a few more times here and can talk a little bit better about it. So it's kind of hard to sit and tell you all the ins and outs of a machine when I put like 2.5 hours on it at this point. So, alright, thanks for tuning in, thanks for watching. Take care, take it easy, keep in touch, stay warm. I'll talk to you guys later.